Had a few isolated downpours that led to some street flood advisories, then some kind of persisted, and then they were changed over to flash flooding. Thankfully, didn't see any widespread reports of flooding. Did have some down in Houma of a few streets showing some signs of water approaching some driveways, but no businesses or homes flooded, thankfully. And the storms that we did have around earlier in the afternoon now gone. So some ongoing thunderstorms in South Mississippi, most either right along or north of 10. A few spotty showers on the North Shore. Kind of a light to moderate steady rain from Des Alwins, Booty up toward Laplace, almost to Lutcher and Vacherie at this hour. Chack Bay. The heavier storms that we had between Thibodaux and Houma have all since wrapped up, but still a few ongoing thunderstorms that are moving offshore at this hour. Even if you didn't get into the rainfall, you benefited from some nearby showers and certainly the cloud cover. And look at some of our rainfall totals, had over 2.5 inches at Slidell. This is one of those areas where we did earlier have a flash flood warning. However, Kenner, no measurable rain. Mostly cloudy skies, although we are starting to see some breaks in those clouds. Still got up to 95 degrees, but once the clouds started to increase across the area, the temperatures did start coming down a bit, and it's 82 right now at Kenner with some nearby rainfall. Mainly off in the river parishes. 75-degree dew point, so humidity is still high, allowing for a bit of a heat index, although with temperatures in the low 80s doesn't feel quite as bad. Still 92 degrees up in Macomb. That's kind of our hot spot with most of southeast Louisiana, even out toward Baton Rouge. Much milder because of the clouds and rainfall. Dew points really didn't go anywhere, and again, it's hard to get the humidity to fall in the summer, but there are all indications that we will see a drop in humidity. We'll start this map on Saturday afternoon. Dry air to our north. This is due to a front and a deep upper trough pushing in some drier air. Now, I will admit, computer models don't always do a great job of indicating precise dew point values. What they can kind of indicate is a drop in humidity or an increase in humidity. This model, the Euro, continuing to keep the dry air around Sunday, Monday, and by Tuesday starting to see some of that moisture return. However, other long-range models have that drier air kind of arriving Tuesday into Wednesday and continuing toward the end of next week. So the precise timing is still in question, but I do think we'll at least start to see a slight drop in humidity beginning Sunday and into Monday, and maybe being reinforced by later in the week. Right now, though, the upper pattern not sending these fronts very far south. We do have a stationary boundary that'll kind of slowly make its way into the area tomorrow. This will help us out with more rain coverage kind of along that boundary, and that will continue on into Saturday as well as that boundary moves out and a weak front starts moving in. Eventually, though, we'll get that push in the upper atmosphere to get the front on through and drier air to start moving in. So it does look like, at least for parts of next week, it'll feel a lot more comfortable. Very latest on Hurricane Erin is that the good news is it is now moving away from the East Coast. Still some high wave action. A couple of other areas out in the tropics worth mentioning, neither a threat. We'll talk more about at 6. So we'll keep that rain chance on the higher side Friday, starting to taper off Saturday, and then mostly dry. A little hotter as the upper high builds back in, but I do think a bit less humid next week.
All right, Chris, thanks.